Can you help others without being in the spotlight? Ask yourself that question. Can you help others without being in the spotlight? Why this topic for today? Well, I was having a conversation with my daughter earlier on, and she brought up a quote, and we looked it up, and it said, and it has to do specifically with women, but it actually affects all of us. So be the woman who fixes another woman's crown without telling the world that it was crooked. I will say that again. The quote says, be the woman who fixes another woman's crown without telling the world that it was crooked. Well, how does that tie to, can you help others without being in the spotlight? Well, that quote to me means, can you help somebody fix their challenges and their issues and not be the center of attention after the fact or broadcasting to the world that you're the reason that person's crown was fixed or the reason that person's problem was fixed? I know today in my life, I've had so many people in my life where, we'll have a conversation, let's say it's a coffee table conversation or a group of people are together, and they'll talk about things that they've achieved, and somebody will pipe up and say, well, yeah, you wouldn't have been able to do that without me. If I wouldn't have had, my hand in helping you, you wouldn't have gotten where you've gotten, and it's because of me that you've succeeded. Well, why did that person have to do that? Why couldn't you just let that person shine? Why couldn't you just let that person be in their own spotlight? Why do people in general have to steal one another's spotlight or their, 15 minutes of fame? Why can't we just help people be a true servant of others, sit in the shadows, supporting and helping one another? That makes you a true leader. Whether this is a female or a male thing, this is a human thing. So the quote is so true, but it affects both men and women. The fact that we will sit on our pedestals, like I talked about, in the last couple days, about we are better off when we support one another. And yes, the theme's been quite consistent the last few days. It just seems that it constantly comes up. Where why can't people have their moment of glory without you saying, oh, that moment of glory is because of me? Why rob from somebody when you've uplifted them by helping them? So if you've uplifted them by helping them and giving them information or knowledge or assistance to get their crown straight, why do you need to make that crown tarnished by saying that you're the reason it happened? Let people bask in the glory of their own spotlight when something has gone well for them. The final end result was because of them. Just because you give them information, just because you give them knowledge and you give them support, doesn't mean that the end result was because of you. You were a supporter, a servant, and giving them a little bit of a hand up. And, that's what true leadership is about. Being a leader in the shadows, supporting others, and not always having to have credit for it. Now, if that person gives you credit, that's completely different, right? They have that right to give you credit, but you don't have the right to steal their spotlight and take the credit of their success away from them by saying, well, you couldn't have done this without me. So I hope that makes sense. Feel free to DM me, leave me a comment below if you have any questions or comments. But, the quote was really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad my daughter brought it to my attention. I had never heard it. But, I see that quote as being something that is a human thing, that we need to just continually support one another. And after we support one another and that person is, uplifted and feeling good about themselves, about their successes, we don't need to tarnish that. We don't need to rob that sense of achievement and accomplishment from them. So, at the end of the day, I give a heck. God bless, peace out, and have a great rest of your day.